Hello, this is Mayor Bollwage, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Our City. Residents, you all may use our social media accounts to get any information regarding upcoming events or simply have a question. You can call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. And for this show, I'm pleased to be joined by Miss Angela Calzone, who is the CEO and President of Inroads to Opportunities, which is based in Roselle, and who does work with a lot of people here in our community. Angela, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Much appreciated.
So Angela, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you wound up where you are today in this seat.
Sure, absolutely. So prior to my arrival here at Inroads Opportunity, which for many years was known as the Occupational Center of Union County, I owned a management consulting practice, and we served for-profits and nonprofit organizations throughout New York and New Jersey. One of my star clients was Inroads to Opportunities. I had been working with them as a consultant for about a decade on and off. And we would come in and we would work with them on staff training and strategic planning. And we even worked with them on changing their name from the Occupational Center to Inroads. So I feel like I've been around the center and the remarkable work that they do for quite a long time. When the opportunity arose for Michelle Ford, who was our previous CEO, to hire a chief operating officer who would ultimately succeed her in the role, it was like a marriage made in heaven. So I was thrilled to be able to move my practice over to my business partner and come home to New Jersey, because I was spending an awful lot of time in New York the last few years. And I am so blessed to be a part of the Inroads family.
So are you a Jersey girl then, Angela, when you say come home to New Jersey?
I am. I was born and raised in Essex County and lived in Morris County for a while. And now I'm all the way down by Long Beach Island, and I make the commute every day to Union County. But I've always been a Jersey girl. But the last few years of my business, I was spending 5 days a week in New York City. And, I missed working with New Jersey. I missed my network in the Garden State, and I wanted to spend more time with my daughter, who was growing up right before my eyes. And it's tough getting home at 8, 9 o'clock at night when you've got a preteen, So the timing and loving Inroads, it was a confluence of great things. So,
Angela, you talked about the name change from to Inroads for New Jersey from the opportunity. How did that come about, and why?
Well, since 1959, it was known as the Occupational Center of Union County. And occupational centers, I think, were getting a bad rap over the last decade or so, insofar as they're looked upon as kind of sheltered workshops where individuals with maybe intellectual or developmental disabilities were being sort of shunned from working in an integrated employment environment out in the community. And that really isn't the case at all. But the leadership and the board of the Occupational Center at that time saw that was a public relations challenge for agencies like ours. And so they really wanted to capture what the essence of the agency and what we really did here for all of the folks that we serve and their families. And what we do here is create opportunities and pathways to those opportunities, whether they're in the community, whether they're in a training program here, whether it's part of our day habilitation or mental health services. We are constantly creating opportunities for folks with disabilities. And that's how the name came about. We had a couple of brainstorming sessions, and we settled on Inroads to Opportunities, and it's been terrific because people really get it now. They understand all the facets of what we do here and how we support our individuals.
So, Angela, you've been recognized with several awards through your career. Tell us about that and tell us about your success in order to be recognized by others.
Well, I have been truly blessed. In New Jersey, I was recognized by NJBiz a number of years ago as when they began their 50 best women in business in New Jersey. I was lucky enough to be recognized by the Boy Scouts of America for my serial entrepreneurship and leadership throughout the state. Um, Garden State Women Magazine, I was a nominee for Women of the Year, and so I've had a lot of great applause and support and recognition over the years.
So, Angela, you've taken those awards and those recognition from others, and now as president and CEO, how do you adopt from a business to now being the chief cook and bottle washer, basically?
Right. And that's so true, Mayor, because you really are the chief cook and bottle washer at a nonprofit. With so many corporations in the for-profit sector, there's layers and there's segmentation. But when you're in a nonprofit, it's all hands on deck. And we're all here to support the participants. We're all here for the same mission. But the gift that I have is that I have been able to take everything that I've learned in business and parlaying that into supporting this amazing agency so that all of my business network, all of my business acumen is now being put to the growth and sustainability of this agency and the people it supports. So I couldn't be more excited to bring all those skills to bear. It's a great way to look toward the twilight of my career. In the
Sure.
next 10 years, I want to be here. I want to do great things and then pass the torch as
So
Michelle
Angela,
did.
you left the for-profit industry for nonprofit. So how does nonprofit speak to you? And don't talk about the twilight of your career. You're obviously doing great things there. So
Yeah.
tell me about this nonprofit opportunities.
So I think nonprofit, especially this agency, speaks to me because I have a daughter with special needs, and as a parent, you watch this child grow, and your concern as they evolve into from childhood into preteen and teen years, you're looking at that kid and you're saying to yourself, if not me, who takes care of her, who looks out for her, who's going to support her in who's going to be as invested in her future as I am. And then you walk into a place, and I'm going to cry. I'm not going to I promised myself I wasn't going to do that. And you walk into a place like Inroads, and here they are. These people, these staff, the direct support professionals, the administrators, they are so committed um, to each and every one of these people that we serve. And we get them from when they're 16 years old through the school to work transition program, right up through to retirement in the rehabilitation program that we run here. And at each stage of life, you see such a committed workforce here for people wanting to watch their 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 neighbors, their family members, their colleagues. We're all a part of the same community, and we truly take care of each other. So as a parent, that spoke to me. And I thought, this is really the place that I want to be and take everything I know about making money and mergers and acquisitions and growth strategies. And I want to be able to use that for the good of this place.
So Angela, speaking of that, it's a great segue to the next question. How do you move inroads for opportunities for further success? How do you see the future of your organization?
Well, we've got a lot of amazing services here currently, and we serve about 400 people a year. I would like to continue to grow that because there are so many people, I think, in the greater Union County area that we're not touching yet. So in addition to making sure that our existing services, like the school to work transition program, like the certificate training programs that we have here, whether we're training in food service or janitorial maintenance or um, uh, assembly and packaging, we've got great programs here. We could do more. And I'd like to see in the next few years us bringing on some additional services as well that, because what we have in terms of training, for example, to get folks out into the integrated competitive employment environment, maybe that what we have currently may not speak to everybody. So we want to open these training programs up um, and diversify them a bit.
And disemployment, Disability Employment Awareness Month is now October.
October, yep.
How important is it for education of mainstream society to understand this issue?
Well, certainly here at the agency, we use it as a platform, but throughout the country, the disability community uses it as well. I think, and of course, we can speak statistically as well, that the individuals with disabilities who are willing and able to work are not nearly as employed as those without disabilities. And I think that there's a misconception with employers in general, even those that are committed to diversity in their workplace, that um, there may be a lot of challenge with hiring an individual with disabilities. It may be costly. There may be a lot of workarounds and accommodations that they would have to do. And it really, I think, for the unknowing employer, it's a turnoff. It can be a real concern. And but none of that could be farther from the truth. And so we all use Disability Awareness Month to uh, make sure that employers are educated and understand the benefits of hiring those individuals with
Angela,
disabilities.
you spoke about your staff. How many are on staff at your location?
We've got just under 60 people full time, and we also have interns coming in periodically. We have some part-timers as well that support the agency. So we've got a nice, robust staff, and we have about 100,000 square feet, 3 buildings right here on Cox Street in Roselle, and we're busting at the seams, thank goodness.
So, Angela, you just mentioned about hiring those with a disability. What are some of the benefits for employers who hire people, and talk about some of the jobs that appeal and work with you that can
Sure,
help
sure.
with these individuals?
Well, certainly, and while this shouldn't be first and foremost, I have some statistics here. Um, there are tax incentives for employers who hire individuals with disabilities. Let me see if I can find that exact. I have it here. I just wanted you guys to be aware of it. It's a federal tax incentive program. I can get the name of that. But with hiring individuals with disabilities, you're finding a very committed workforce. They are for the most part, very motivated to want to work. There is statistically less absenteeism for employees who have disabilities. They are looking for the same types of things in their work environment that employees without disabilities are looking for, and that is fair compensation, camaraderie, great training, upward mobility. So there really is very, very little difference in terms of when you're hiring one with or without disabilities. It's just a matter of, and through the Americans with Disabilities Act, you may have to provide a reasonable accommodation for that new hire who has a disability, but you have to do that even if you've got an existing employee who may.
What are some of the issues
No.
of hesitancy? What are some of the issues of hesitancy on some employers?
I think employers think it's going to disrupt their workflow. I think employers think it's costly or that it gets in the way of doing business. It'll be a distraction. or that individual is going to need, assistance and support from other employees, and that may take away from their work. So I think there is a lot of misconception, and most often none of that is the case. They want to work.
Angela, do you work and prepare your members for interviews and processing and how to go about getting the jobs?
We absolutely do. Our supported employment department works specifically with individuals who are ready for employment. We do assessments to understand what jobs may be right for them based on their capabilities and desires and goals. And then once we do that, we do everything from helping them develop resumes to going through what's the appropriate attire for the workplace. We work with them to apply for jobs so that they know how to do that, conduct themselves on an interview. Once they get a job, we are even there post orientation and onboarding to be able to support them if need be at the workplace. And oftentimes you'll find that employers welcome that.
So, Angela, as we wrap up, tell us about some upcoming events at Inroads and how people can contact your organization for services.
Sure. The biggest upcoming event that we have is our annual casino night and awards ceremony. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and we do that in celebration of Disabilities Employment Awareness Month in October. That's on October 20th. We're going to be doing that at the Elks Club in Union. Anyone who is interested in donating or participating in any way or just coming in and enjoying a great fun evening can contact us at our website, which is www.inroads2.org, or by calling our office at 908-241-7200.
So, Angela, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us on this show. And many members of Elizabeth will see it. And hopefully those that need your services will contact you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. We really do appreciate the platform. Thank you.
I want to thank Miss Angela Calzone from the Inroads to Opportunities, who is the president and CEO. We wish her well in the city of Elizabeth as she's on a great mission to help service those who may be left behind. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.